So it is an issue of probably how we look at things. But when someone comes to you and says the department has 60% availability of stock, and that is what we said to the portfolio committee, that we don't have the 100% that is ideal. We accepted that. And when Honorable Kika says we were upfront, he's correct. Because we went to them and said, ideally we're supposed to have 70%, sorry, 100%. But we are not on 100% on all our facilities. Some we are on 80-something, but the lowest that we are on is 60%. That doesn't mean we don't have medication, but it means we don't have the number or the amount of treatment that we want. So it really is something of how we utilize the information that we get. You know, if there's an issue that is not used in a professional way, it does become a problem. I understand that in one interview yesterday, someone went online who is a politician and said the elderly has been dying for months or for the past 3 or 4 weeks. Now, that's a very irresponsible statement. It's a very irresponsible statement, because how do you know that my grandmother who has passed on because of what? And there is no scientific research that was done by this person for him to be able to come up and make a statement like that. It's irresponsible. That is why when we have challenges, then the first people we go to are our portfolio committee and say to the portfolio committee, we are supposed to be at 100%. We are not there. In other areas, we are at 85. In other areas, we are at 70. But the lowest is 60%. That doesn't mean we don't have. It just means we are not at an ideal situation. I understand what you are saying, that there will be some patients who go to facilities, and instead of being given alternatives, it's easy and very quick for someone who's at dispensary to say, we don't have this. And that's where we want to intervene. Because it means someone is not doing what they are supposed to be doing, because the law says if there is no particular brand, then there's a list of alternatives. Give that patient the alternative. There's no patient that's supposed to leave our facility without receiving a treatment. And the good thing about our call center is that they don't even have to say who they are. They don't even have to say who didn't give it to them. But we will know what time they went there. We will know what treatment has not been provided. And we'll be able to implement our own stringent measures behind the scenes, because it's not acceptable that our patients would be turned away just because someone is either lazy or think it's too late. They are now about to go home and they don't have time to put the medication that is required together. And we are not saying that's the case in all facilities, but in other areas we find that someone goes home without the required medication because they came to the pharmacy around 3:45. And the person says, no, I'm closing at 4, I must now go home. So it's things that we are dealing with within our facility. You were saying that we issued an alert, and the alert wasn't saying that we must stop procuring. It doesn't say that we must stop issuing orders. It meant that people must order the required amount of medication to them. So when you ordinarily would order 150% because you just want to have medication lying around, now because of our cost curtailing measures, if you need 20%, that's what you must order. 20%. That's what the instruction was. But in the past, people were allowed to say, I need 20%, but just so that I don't have to order again in the next 6 months, I will add and make it 125%. We are not in that space anymore. You need to be stringent to what is it that you need, and that is what you must order. So the cost curtailing measure is about that, and that's what we explained to the portfolio committee. We also explained to the portfolio committee that what we've also discovered is that some of our medication we find in private GPs. Some of our medication grows feed, and when you go to a private GP, you are sold that kind of medication. I received a WhatsApp just this morning. Some are sold at pension points. And this patient is from Kanongoma, is saying to me, MEC, in as much as you think you might have a problem, but one of the things you might want to deal with is how medication goes out of the gate without anyone ensuring that it's actually only patients that take the patients away. And I'm asking, what are you talking about? He says, no, if you go to some of the households that are nearby, you will find medication of the Department of Health being sold by an individual in that particular house. So he is saying, yes, deal with the matter of shortage, but don't just stop there. Look at the issue of security as well and what is happening moving forward. It's a matter we will deal with. But for now, we just want the community to understand that there is no crisis. Whatever challenges that are there are being dealt with.